Hello, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Today, we're going to talk about unusual spells as I sip my coffee. It's very early that I'm recording this video. The sun hasn't been up for very long. I just came back from the gym, so I'm starting this journey where I'm waking up at a ridiculous hour before the sun comes up, going to the gym to work out, and then starting my day. I'm ultimately trying to improve my health. This is something I've done spells for, healing spells, physical healing spells. I just feel like, there's healing and then there's the part that I can do. And even though it hurts and it's uncomfortable and I don't really like working out and I don't like sweating and I don't really want to go to the gym, none of these things are appealing to me and I really don't want to wake up before dawn. However, I understand that in order to have healing, like real healing, and in order to really activate my spell, in order for it all to work, I still have to do the mundane part. So I'm looking a little all natural right now. And forgive the lighting, I just wanted to get a little cozy and have my cup of coffee. And now that I've done my responsibility to the gym, I wanted to sit and do this video and talk to you guys. So, spells for the unusual. I started off giving you this little background about the gym and all that because that's kind of where I'm going. Sometimes I think there's a plethora of spells available to us, right? Money spells, love spells, beauty spells, all types of spells, healing spells, health spells, lose weight spells. Some of those seem pretty straightforward. So I kind of want to get into a conversation about what happens when you're not having, that type of need. Your need is a little bit more specific. It's very specific, a very particular need. And how can you do spell work for that? So, and unusual, the way I'm using it, in this case, means basically spells that are not commonly found in spell books, spells that are not common. You can find something in the area of it, but you'd have to tweak it for your very particular situation. And this is caffeinated coffee too, because I am having I'm having trouble just staying awake. But anyway, so no right or wrong at this point. I'm just going over spells, talking about it. There's no judgment. If it's not something that you feel comfortable doing, then it's okay. I mean, just listen. It's not, this is not one of those things where you have to be like, well, why would I do that? If, you don't have to do it if you don't think you need to. But for someone else, a light bulb goes off when they hear this. And then just to reiterate, occasionally we all have different needs as witches and practitioners, which is why, again, I suggest recording in some fashion, whether it's keeping a notebook, magical journal, book of shadows, grimoire, a planner, or, on your phone, on your computer, but you want to record what you did, especially for this unusual stuff, because it may come up again. So what's the unusual spells I'm talking about? Well, I'll start with beauty spells. Yeah. Some of this is from my own. Some of this is from my own needs at one point. Longer hair. Now, this might seem like, oh, well, that's not that unusual. It can be unusual. One, longer hair, especially if you have a lot of hair growth challenges. You've never had long hair. You've always wanted it and you just don't have it. Well, for somebody like myself, I've had long hair. I've had long hair over the years, but it hasn't been as long as I wanted. So I feel like I'm on this hair journey right now with my hair, which is kind of just there right now, but it's going to get a lot longer. And Yeah, so I've done hair spells before. I've done hair spells for thicker hair. So there's more of that longer, thicker hair. Actually, I didn't want just either one. Um, you can do spells. Some people have done spells for changing the color over time of their hair without actually using chemicals. And that's one of those things where maybe it's not going to be dramatic like in the movies, calm down, but for that type of spell work, usually it's just a perception thing, which I'll get to in a moment about that one. Clear skin spells. So if you have blemishes, scars, acne scars, or just scars in your face, and you're not in a position to, let's say, just go to a dermatologist and get all this work done, or you don't want to. Clear skin spells, excuse me, is an option. And then overall perception of being attractive, right? So this is one of those things, perception. It's kind of glamour magic, but it's a thing where I like the way I call it overall perception. So basically, if you feel that, let's say you've rated your beauty, the way you look, let's say you say you're a solid 6.5, 7, right? And you want to be seen as a solid 9, 10. Do a spell so that you're perceived to be that way, especially, and be, that's all I said, no judgment, right or wrong about this, because I know people have this idea of, what are you talking about? Beauty is an eye of the beholder. Right, I'm doing a spell so you, the beholder, will always see me as a 9 or a 10. We all know there's such things as pretty privileges that just exist in society. So I don't see anything wrong with doing a spell where I would be perceived as a 9 or a 10, or a 10 for sure. Why would I not? Because there are perks that come with that. So for these beauty spells, the examples that I gave, basically this is work you're doing on yourself, with the exception of the overall perception spell, but it's still yourself. So you're going to want to grab something personal to you, obviously yourself. But with the hair, the longer hair, make sure you have a piece of hair, the clear skin, make sure you have a mirror in front of you, that sort of stuff. This is one of those things where it's definitely mind over matter. You're going to need to psych yourself up, especially with the clear skin thing, because you're going to need to look in the mirror, you're going to say certain things, you're going to mix up certain things, and a little bit about these type of unusual spells. As you're doing, or once you've done the work, you have to know that the spell is now on you. You're doing a spell on yourself, but your mind shift will begin. So a clear skin spell, you got to remember that to clear it up, something else has to be done. Typically with skin issues, especially acne issues, it's an internal issue. It's not just a surface skin issue. So something internal has to happen. Spells work like this. Maybe now you didn't understand that, or maybe you didn't understand the gravity of internally, healing what's going on, and all of a sudden you're just like bombarded with information about, this particular supplement, this medication, or eating this particular food helps clear, clear skin. Before you assume that that doesn't mean anything and it doesn't work, that's the spell working, because it's working on you. Because if I don't know specific. Gratefully, I have not struggled with acne, especially I've had pimples and things like that growing up, but I never had like adult acne. I know people I love do struggle with that, and it's a struggle because stress, a weekend of eating some fried cheese, some mozzarella sticks and some fries can just take them out. Like, it'll just start the whole process. And it's just like, man, I can't slip. I can't do anything for fun. But anyway, the spell will put you on a course to basically having clear skin. And I, again, just want to reiterate, because this is not a movie. This is real life. And I know a lot of people don't as a witch, that kind of turns them off when they hear them because they think real life means, oh, none of the magic is real. No, the magic is real. The magic is you're learning, you're gaining knowledge so that you can get the clear skin. The knowledge, the magic is, you're eating the proper foods, you're taking supplements to get longer hair. You become more educated. You find YouTube channels on someone with hair like yours, and you see how they're doing it, and you basically copy that as best as you can, and now your hair grows and how to retain your length. Overall perception, basically, that spell is really about confidence, because confidence is sexy, it's attractive. So once you are able to harness that power, it raises you up from a 6, 7, because you begin to see yourself as a 9, 10. You get it? That's the true magic in those beauty spells. So let me move on to career money spells. Sugar daddy spells, getting a job you're unqualified for, gambling to win spell, or even getting someone fired spell. And then getting an undeserved raise. Undeserved raise. I said unusual. A lot of times when you get books on spells and they're talking about career money, the assumption is that maybe you deserve these things, right? That you've worked hard, you've been, looked over, and you deserve that raise, you deserve that job, you're qualified for it, and so forth. A lot of times you get these books and there's this assumption. Sugar daddy spells, a lot of times like, oh, you're just looking for love. No, what if you're someone who's looking for, someone who is, with deep pockets? That's what your goal is. And gambling to win money. Some people are like, oh, well, you could win, but it's, it's a 50-50 chance. It's a gamble. You're gambling, right? But these are what I call unusual spells. So let's break down the sugar daddy spell, shall we? So with that one, remember, so there's a couple different things. That's going to be a multi-layer spell, let's just be honest, because you're not just, there's an attraction spell. So I'm basically now breaking these down into like bite-sized spells that you'll probably understand, because sometimes it's a very specific thing. So you're looking for an attraction spell. You're also doing a beauty spell on top of that, and that overall perception spell. So you're taking from that in the sugar daddy spell, because you need an overall perception where you're seen. Now, with a sugar daddy spell, I think it's more advantageous to have someone in mind, as opposed to, you could do an overall, just like an attraction spell. However, and that's fine, that's like I said, multi-layer, that's the first basis, but you want to target. It's like with anything. If I wanted to move into a house and I lived in an apartment and I always wanted a house, I would begin to think about the type of house I want. I'm going to want to see it. Maybe I want to, look for it in magazines. Maybe I go up to, look on realtor.com or Zillow or whatever, take a picture, snap a picture or whatever, screenshot a house that I really like, a style. And the more specific you get, it helps. The home that I'm in now, I was very specific about a lot of the details in it. And when I saw this house, when the agent for it said, I like to cry, because I couldn't, it's like I believed it, but I was still like in a little bit of a disbelief that this is what I saw, and I'm looking at it like in real life, it's right here. So if you can get a little specific about the person or persons you want to target, that can be more helpful with this type of work. Anything else, the spells might take longer if you don't have, a target or several targets to work toward. And that's, kind of the thing about that. But that's basically how that spell works. So once you have the person, if you have a picture of them, if you can somehow get a picture, or if you have, if they have a social media profile, that's good enough. And you can work from there. I like jar spells for that. Like the honey jars, sweetening. Basically, you want to make this person sweet on you, right? Um, so those types of spells is going to be for the sugar daddy. Remember, there's overall attraction, overall perception, a lot of glamour magic, and then you're, looking for more targeted type of working as well. And you can do all this at one time, or you can spread this over time as well. Getting a job you're going to qualify for, that type of working that you're going to do. Okay. Again, this is a no judgment zone right now. We're just having a conversation, cozy. I came from the gym, did what I was supposed to do. I was a responsible adult, so now it's time to have a little fun and drink my coffee and have this chat. So you're not qualified for the job, but you want it. Now, clearly I'm not talking about a job like, I don't know, a surgeon, and you've never been in medical school. That's not what I mean. I mean, let's say you've been out of the workforce for like 5 years or so, you've raised your kids, or 5, 10 years, and you'd like to come back in. Used to be an analyst, in IT. Technology has changed, things have happened, but you're a quick learner. Let's say you're kind of familiar still, you've kind of kept your attention on the market and what's changed and, IT and all that sort of stuff. But you would just a couple training classes, you'd be good to go. That's the right mindset. First thing, as with any magic, is to actually do the action. You gotta actually apply for jobs. Now, how does this look? You're gonna spell your resume. You're gonna spell, and when I mean spell, I mean, because I realize almost everything is done electronically, print out a copy of your resume. And the intention is that printed paper, that's just a symbol, but all that information that's on there, you're gonna spell that so that when it goes out, you're much more attractive to employers. Basically, you're also going to tweak your resumes. There's the mundane piece of it where you're going to have to basically embellish a lot. But you knew that, right? Come on. It's a job you're unqualified for. You're going to have to embellish an awful lot. You're going to be walking a very fine line on real and not real, what really happened and what didn't happen. But you're going to have to feel comfortable doing that. You're going for something out of what you consider out of your realm anyway, right? Okay, so, and then on top of that, again, it's an attraction spell. So you spelled your resume. An overall attraction spell. Attraction, please don't always think attraction spells are about love. It's not. It's attraction, something to attract you. Okay, so I would create oils or an oil or some sort of a spray so that you consistently spray it on yourself at the start of your day. And that scent, it's all about attraction and making you more attractive. You're going to use that especially when you get to the part where you're interviewing. That's going to be something you want to have on your person as well. Candle magic for sure in this type of spell. I'm going to want one of those big 7-day glass candles. And my intention, of course, is to get a job. No, typically you're going for a job you're not qualified for because it probably pays more. So that's part of it. So there's going to be a money spell involved with that as well. Most of these spells are requiring more than one thing because it's very particular. Now, again, if you're very clear and a little bit more particular and specific about the job or jobs that you'd like to target, that helps. I'd clip out, again, print out maybe the ad for it, like if you're on Indeed or wherever. Just the company name, you can write it on a piece of paper and the job title. I would use my cauldron for that, and I would burn it. As I'm burning it, make sure I'm saying some sort of phrasing that represents me being offered the position. I would start to see myself. I'd have visions about it, and this would be something I'm doing all at once because you want this relatively fast. I'm gonna want to be doing this on a new moon, preferably, for sure. So yeah, that's how I would approach doing the spell work for that. And then the most mundane thing you're going to be doing is actually applying for the work and tweaking your resume. But everything else that's the magic. Winning while gambling, or gambling, to win. So basically, you want to spell so you go to the casino, you don't lose, you win. Okay. I've heard other people doing this type of work, and I've heard success. I really have. I know I've heard other people say they use some sort of spell, luck spell, and it worked. Which gets into my thing, a luck spell. So, typical, I don't want to say typical hoodoo, but basically you can find, if you have any hoodoo spell books, or probably even look online for luck, you're going to find some stuff. You're going to want to grab that. Okay. So you're saying to win, and that means you don't want to lose at all. So I'm going to want to create some sort of charm, talisman, something that I have that I'm carrying with me. You can also use some sort of charged crystal as well that's going to represent, and a crystal can stand in this place, by the way, that you're infusing with strong intention. Maybe ahead of time, depending on where you are, if you can go to, this is what I would suggest now, if you could go to a place, a casino ahead of time. If you live near one, I'm surrounded by them, so I always have access. But and just walk around. You're not playing. The whole point is you're not thinking, "Oh, I wish I could win." I would, It's more like taking the sounds, taking that energy, taking, the sounds of a casino, what it sounds like, when somebody wins and they get excited, the crowd cheers and all that sort of stuff. Go on a busy night. You're not going to stay there for long, and you'll be tempted probably to take a crack at it, but that's not what you're doing. You're going to do your luck spell. I'm big into candle magic. I would also I'd probably do like a chime candle or something like that, green, where I inscribe, dollar signs, luck, winning, on there as well. That's the handle the winning part. I would call on specific deities that I know are good for luck and really support that. Maybe keep some sort of attributing like symbol of that, create a sigil or something. As well, have that on your person, like a piece of paper, maybe have it in your wallet next to your money. So you're going to just walk around the casino and you're soaking up energy. And the crystal talisman, whatever you're going to have in your hand charm that you've infused with your intentions and coated with the energy of winning, 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 winning money, you're going to have that just walking around your hand. Open up a little bit occasionally, let it soak up the energy, close it because you don't want to attract too much attention. But your goal is just to walk around and just feel that energy. Walk through the slots, walk through the table, whatever your game of choice is, and just be in that environment. And that talisman, that charm, or that object is soaking up that energy as well. Do not get around anybody who looks disappointed, losing, or sad. We want winners. We want to go where the winners are. Go where the high rollers are. Stand near that area and soak up that energy. And then, okay, you're done, get out. Do not play that day. And then come back home. I would I know I would do another chime candle. That's why I didn't say 7-day candle, because that would take too long. Because, if I know I'm going to go, let's say I'm doing this on a Sunday afternoon, but I know next Friday night I'm going to the casino, or Saturday. So I'm going to do this maybe a week before and get everything ready to go. And once I know that's charged, I'm going to put it in like a little black baggie, like drawstring baggie. I don't want anything else to touch. I don't want to touch it. I don't want anything else to touch it. And I'm going to put that away. I'm not putting it under my bed. Put it away. Put it in a drawer. It's charged. It's ready to go. It's waiting for you. Do not touch it ahead of time, because we want that energy in that moment. But when I come back, I would do a green candle, another winning type thing, just to reiterate that energy. Of winning, winning, winning. We're not going to talk about losing. It's just winning, winning, winning. Just focus on the thing that you want. And I would just stay in a place of excitement and keep my energy, my vibration high, and really look forward to going. That's where that anticipation of going and playing and having fun and seeing myself winning and remembering when I was just there, seeing the imagery that I saw where people were playing and they were having a good time and they were winning and they were happy. Like, I would keep that in my head. That's what I'm riding out with the week. So when I finally go, my vibrations are high. I'm on a high frequency. I got my charm of choice or talisman or whatever I chose. I pull that out the drawer. I got that on me, and I go play, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. All right, and then yes, I think that was it. Yeah. Oh, and getting someone fired. Getting someone fired spell. Okay, so with this one, All right. No judgment again. This is not a right or wrong. We're just having a conversation. So, getting someone fired for whatever reason, let's say the person's bullying you, being a bully, because adults actually bully other adults in the workplace. That's a real thing that happens, unfortunately. Harassment. Hopefully, you're not doing it just because you don't like somebody. Don't do that. But if you feel there's a legitimate reason to go through with wanting to get someone fired, there's a lot of mundane ways to go about doing this. If this person really is not great at their job, a lot of times you don't even have to say much. Just set them up. It's just, this is like a manipulation tactic. This is just being a little smarter than that person and understanding how to manipulate situations. So, other people do this all the time, unfortunately. So this is something you can just learn how to do. Just learn how to observe, pay attention, because the people involved who would actually do the firing, it's a matter of just saying the right things to them to make them notice what's not being done with that other person. You just drop little pieces of information. This might be something done over time. Now, the magical element that you want to do with this is, if you can have something that person touched, like maybe a pen, you're working with them. If somehow swipe the pen that they were using, that's fine too. And I would write a petition. I would have my cauldron out. I would, for this type of situation, I've never really had to get someone fired. I've done similar things on the behalf of someone else, with people at work who were being troublesome. So I'm beefing, in my head, I'm beefing up more of what that was. But definitely I'm going to have a candle. The pen or whatever object that you get that they touched, I like the idea of burning it. Now the pen is going to be a little bit difficult, but you can put a little flame to it. Be careful, you don't want to hurt yourself or set your house on fire, but just a little bit of burning. And as you do that, you would say very specific words of, and envision them getting fired, like fire under their ass, or fire under the boss's ass to get them fired, get fired, get it fired. Yeah, so you're going to be saying specific words. So you're going to, write out just a chant, and you're just saying it repetitively the entire time that you're doing your work. So the petition is basically to get them fired. If there's a specific goddess or god that you work with, or a spirit ancestor that you knew who was maybe a boss, you might want to petition them, and get them involved, just to add to your energy, add to the work, to get this done more quickly as well. I like to use herbs in this type of thing, like black pepper. I want cinnamon because I want it to go fast, red pepper flakes, things like that. And the whole purpose is that is just sort of to activate the spell, put that in my cauldron with my petition and burn that. Have the window open. You don't need a lot of these types of things, but anyway, have the window open as well. A black candle is definitely something you're going to want. Write that person's name, write fired. You're basically writing out all your, your intentions and some sort of symbol or something like that. Yeah, do all of those things. And once that work is done, with that type of work, release it. You're not sitting around checking every 5 seconds when you get to work to see if they're still at their desk and if they got fired. Believe it is so, and it's done. So that's how that works. Now, finally, in the love spell category, sticking with the theme of unusual spells, let's say you want a multiple partner situation, like we're going to call it a poly spell. And I'm seeing a lot of this online. I see a lot of people talking about this stuff. I see a lot of people who just don't have the capacity to understand. I'm not saying do it themselves, but like understand that other people do have the capacity to be open to more than one person and actually love them. So this is a situation where I'm talking about desiring not just a partner for our love spell, but multiple partners. So it's the same approach that most love spells are. So you can do like jar spells, things like that. Again, it helps if you have targets, if you have an idea of maybe there's specific people or the type of people, like what are you envisioning in your mind? I would start to look for people who were like that. Look for men, women, celebrities that represent, kind of a little bit of how they look, the style, or whatever, just overall imagery. Um, to use symbolically in the place of that. This is the kind of thing I would do like little vision boards for. Vision boards could be in a book. It doesn't have to be on a wall on a big poster board. Using that, pictures of yourself, them, writing down like dates you want to get married, all that, all the typical stuff you hear about love spells and attracting someone else. Yeah, someone, instead it's going to be several someones. So basically you're taking that same application, but you're just, the way your mind thinks anyway, it's open to more than one. So that's what you're doing. So you're going to have several different people in your mind on, what you're wanting to attract. Definitely I love the idea of doing oils, perfumes, enchanted. If it's store-bought, that's fine. The more natural, the better. But basically to attract, so you're still doing attraction type work on yourself to make you more attractive to others. Immerse yourself in the polyculture, in the multiple loving partner culture. So you're putting yourself into groups, virtual or not, where you're learning more. You're admiring other people. In the same way, if I want to be married, I'm gonna get around married people. You don't want to just be around single people all the time. Get it? So it's that same concept. Immerse yourself. You're going all in with this. This is something you're setting up for. Begin to think about your residence, where you are. Is that where you want to stay with your partners? Do you have something else in mind? Add that into your spell work as well. I'm a big fan, if you haven't noticed, of multi-layered spells, not just lighting one candle and putting all my intentions into that one. It's not that that doesn't work, but in my experience, because it's usually not just that one thing. I don't just want love. In this case, I'm saying if you want multiple partners, well, I'm gonna have to do maybe a little bit more than just that one candle. I would also invest in getting the candles that look like figures of people. So let's say, it doesn't matter what your sex is, if you're wanting, either two women, a man and a woman, or two men. Get those candle spells, the candles that look like the figures of the sex that you desire. And then, you can easily, once you have those candles around them, you can put pins and things like that, and you can make carvings. Because let's say it's important that you need them to be very sensitive, so you would maybe draw something around the heart or heart symbol or something like that. You could actually inscribe sigils that represent those things that you want in these partners. So that's for sure. And then low-key, almost like a binding type situation. Be careful, I'm not... I know this, again, no judgment zone, but get those candles and get a candle figure for yourself as well. And I would like wrap like a cord around and circle it around all of, them to join them. I would, again, petitions, I'd have my cauldron there, I'd write out my petition, and I would burn that as well. I would say some releasing words, make sure the windows are open. So yeah, this would be a multi thing. So I got like a vision board going. I'm doing actual vision work. I would bring in sex magic as well. If I'm alone and it's like solo work, okay, so I'm going to be doing a solo, whatever. Once you reach that level of climax, then you're sending that releasing work into the universe. So, you got to be very focused. But yeah, I would have a multi-leveled approach to this type of spell for my multiple partner spell. A reverse love spell. So if you want to do a reverse love spell, so basically make someone not love you. You're, for whatever reason, in the situation and you don't want them to love you anymore. Think love spell, but go on reverse. So black candles on deck. you can get those same figure candles I'm talking about. So if it's a girl that you're in a situation with, this is one of those things. Think cord cutting, so get the cords out again, and the goal is to cut them. Put an X over the candle where the heart would be, like draw a heart and then put an X over it. Think of nasty herbs. You can do a jar spell as well, to make them bitter to you, as well. So you can take that approach also. Not that hard to do. Also, the way that you act. Not so lovable. There you go. But yeah, those are my examples of unusual love spells. And, I thought I would do this because I realized that sometimes, like I said, a career money spell or just money spells, it's not always simple. And a lot of people, again, have judgment about a gambling to win spell, or getting someone fired, or like I said, there's this idea that just because I'm applying for the job, I'm qualified for it. Well, what if you're not? What if you're nowhere near qualified for that job, but you want it anyway? That sort of stuff. Approach spells of any variety, almost the same way. You raise energy. You plan out your spell. Consider maybe the day of the week, the moon phase, time of day, and so forth. Take those same approaches, same approach to doing your spell work. And it's basically just tweaking a luck spell, an overall love spell, a glamour spell, and so forth, and just making it to your specific needs. So hopefully you guys thought this was an interesting video, kind of fun. It's a little bit out there, a little unusual, but I felt like, today's been an unusual day anyway, for me waking up at a ridiculous hour, so why not introduce you guys to this unusual world that I'm now living in. All right, so thank you for watching. Again, I'm Mika. This is Leak Taken. Please like, subscribe, share it. Let me know in the comments if you have anything to say about any of the stuff that I'm talking about, or if there's an unusual spell. You don't have to tell me the specifics of the spell, but anything unusual that you've needed to do spell work for, and just let me know about that as well. All right, so thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.